There's teams across the league that have a good case to be a favorite when it comes down to a finals run, and after coming off a championship last season, it's like a lot of people don't see how dangerous the Denver Nuggets are and what makes them a front runner to win the NBA Finals. Sure, they're not the first seed, and we won't give any excuses as to why that is, but nonetheless, the Denver Nuggets are a bona fide threat, and when I say no one, I really mean no one would want to face them in a 7-game series. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a series where we will dive deep into a certain aspect of a team, valuable things certain players bring to the squad, and why a certain team can be a threat in the playoffs and make a finals run. We'll be covering the most intriguing teams in playoff contention and also teams that you all request. When you have a team with such great chemistry between one another, that's when you get an unselfish unit who thrives off other guys playing well. Pretty much the next man up mentality. One guy goes down, well, best believe the next guy is going to step up. When you watch them operate on the court, the Denver Nuggets showcase a remarkable level of connectivity that is essential for their success. Through precise passing, fluid movement, and seamless communication, the players on this team have a deep understanding of each other's strengths and weaknesses so they can really help each other succeed. For Jokic, he always knows where he wants to go, so by clearing out this right side and letting him go to work, it gives him all the room needed to go get a bucket. When you surround him with shooters, when the ball hits Nikola's hands, well, this space between Jokic and MPJ is just too large, and this is basketball wonderland for elite shooters like Michael Porter Jr. Now, Jokic may be the one that does a lot of the connecting on the court, but trust and believe it's not just limited to Joker. With this Murray-Jokic pick and roll being so effective, it makes Porzingis play drop because he's worried about Jokic on the roll, so Drew Holiday is going to rotate over to meet Murray in the paint, but voila, they leave open a cutting Aaron Gordon on that backside. It's not only these core group of guys that have a great feel, but other role players and bench players can work in cohesion to then put Giannis on a poster. The synergy this team has is just evident in their offensive sets, where they all just work together to create scoring opportunities through these intricate ball movement and off-ball screens that ultimately end up in a tough Reggie Jackson lay for the and-one. But hey, even when they're not initiating offensive sets and they're just flowing out there, it can go from one person's hands to the next, and it's a slam fest. That trust and chemistry amongst the players is huge because it allows them to execute the game plan to the highest degree, and with everybody playing at the same flow and maintaining a collective focus, this is a key reason to why they won the finals last season and are a major threat to win it again this year. It's not just the offense where they can look solid, but defensively they can have amazing stints of just shutting teams down. That same way they move as a unit offensively translates to the defensive side, as here you can see the seamless switch from Brown and Jokic. Holiday has already sunk in to help on this pass to Tillman since he has the switch onto the smaller Brown, and with the ridiculous agility of Watson, he's able to release off Al Horford to intercept this pass from Tatum. Defensively, they exhibit strong communication between one another and a great level of teamwork that effectively helps them switch assignments, rotate to help each other, and challenge opponents as a unit. With Denver being the tallest team in the NBA, their average height of players is listed at 6'7.9, while the average height of teams in the NBA is 6'6.5, giving them a major advantage. By sending the 6'10 Michael Porter Jr. and the 6'8 Peyton Watson at Chris Middleton, it forces him into a tough situation to get this pass off in between them, which then leads to Watson getting a hand on it for the steal. The length just gives opposing teams tons of problems as they have to be more calculated with their moves, as any lackadaisical pass or action can result in a steal, and even if they think they have a clear lane to the rim, well, joke's on them as Aaron Gordon is able to rise up to send this off the glass. Since they move so well as a unit, the help on the drives is magnificent, and when you have a young defensive stud in the making, this is when you get these emphatic blocks off the rotation. And by never giving up on a play like we saw from Aaron Gordon, Watson soars in from out of nowhere to erase Brown's shot, which probably could have been called a goaltend. Overall, from both sides of the ball, the Denver Nuggets connectivity on the court is a testament to their teamwork and showcases just how well they understand how to maximize each other, and not only that, but also where to insert themselves on the floor to make a play. When you have a core group of guys like this is where you get a starting offense that shoots 60% from the field, which is the second best in the league amongst all starting lineups rolled out more than 35 times. They also shoot 40% from deep, which will rank them at 4th best in the league. They have an 82% conversion rate from the line, placing them in 2nd, while having a plus-minus rating of 5.9, ranking them in 1st. So as you can see, the offensive firepower from the Denver Nuggets starters isn't a joke, and if you let them get in rhythm, then it'll be a long night for opposing teams. Defenses will be so fixated on stopping Jokic from scoring the ball that it opens up many holes for his teammates to exploit, so when Nikola starts muscling Tatum down low, Porzingis just abandons Gordon completely, and now it's an easy dump off right through the defense for the slam. Averaging 14 points on 55% shooting from the field, majority of Gordon's buckets come from the restricted area where he's seeing 71% of his 363 field goal attempts. With his 6'8" height, when smaller guards get switched on to him, it's easy money when he catches the lob over the top of them. And don't forget, if needed, he'll use that elite athleticism to give us one of the most eye-catching putbacks. Having someone like Gordon on your team is incredibly valuable because while not only he serves as a big athletic body on the defensive side, but on the offense, his slashing nature at his size helps out a ton. He's able to run right through Giannis to create space for the layup inside, and although he blows the gimme, with his jumping ability, he's able to bounce off the floor a second time before anyone else could get to it, and the putback is down for 2 points. When you already have guys who can space the floor with great shooting, it's nice to have a bruiser type player who will take it at the defense's throat night in and night out. With Aaron Gordon, he is more than confident in his slashing skill set that at times he'll tie in that handle to get himself to the rim, and then just being creative, he finds himself leaning back away from the basket using this push shot over Porzingis for the bucket. Tough finishes like that are nothing for Gordon because he has no problem getting in the air to throw it down, move you out the way with his strength, or just finish right through the defense. With his inside scoring being one aspect of the game that lifts the Denver Nuggets offense, they have a dynamic guy on both ends of the floor which elevates their connectivity and versatility. With him being more of a dominant inside scorer, well, you get the exact opposite with Michael Porter Jr., who is a more dominant shooter. This high level of shooting is needed for all teams simply because you want a guy who can not only space the floor, but also have an upstanding amount of confidence in themselves to knock down any shot they see. On 16 points a night, MPJ is a 48% shooter from the field, and on nearly 7 attempts from deep per game, Porter connects on 39% of his shots. With him being a deadly spot-up shooter, when the ball finds its way to Jokic, Gordon pulls in Jovic with that backdoor cut. So bada bing, it's MPJ wide open to sink the J. You'll see defenders start to play him high to take away his three-point shooting, but this simply doesn't work because with the versatility and chemistry this team has, all he has to do is cut to the rim for the easy one inside. Most people think MPJ is just this guy who shoots threes, but if you watch the game, not only is he a lights-out floor spacer, but he can navigate on the court as well to get the buckets elsewhere. First off, if you go under the screen and your big is more so in drop coverage, well, you're gonna pay up. Trust me, his green light is always activated, so if you're not right in front of his face, well, he's gonna send it up and collect his cash. His three-point shooting is such a threat that defenders will close out hard to run him off that line, but like I said, he doesn't mind navigating to his spots on the floor to then nail this mid-range jumper. It's truly nothing for Porter to get into his shots, because honestly, there's not a look on the floor he doesn't like. But remember, like I said earlier, when defenders play him high to take away the three, well, he's not this one-dimensional player who can't operate in other areas, as he can ISO his defender for the blow-by and gracefully kisses off the glass over the contest. Like for real, play up high, then it's bye-bye, as you watch him coast in for the layup. Hopefully everyone understands that when I say he knows how to navigate around the floor effectively, that doesn't just mean when he has the ball in his hands. If you look towards the top of your screen, you'll see MPJ spotting up for the three ball. But once he sees his man and Malik Beasley not paying attention, he cuts into this open space, so when Jokic receives the ball, it's an easy pass to the paint for an MPJ finish. With that big body of Jokic being used to create space for KCP on this handoff, Drew Holiday shifts over to stop the penetration, but right here, this is fatal. Because now, you give MPJ a head of steam to cut to the rack, and KCP is able to bounce this perfectly to Porter and stride for the bucket. It really seems like a lot of teams don't label him as a high alert player because you get to see a lot of these cuts happen as Porter has converted on 69% of his 43 field goal attempts on all cutting layups and dunks. It may not seem huge to you, but in a 7-game series where you have to worry about his shooting, ability to put it on the deck, and his cuts through the defense, well, this is when he can be a major problem. But hey, as much as Porter does help this team and can be an X factor, Jamal Murray is such an amazing shot creator who can lift his team up offensively himself and quite frankly be automatic when he starts heating up. I'm talking about ridiculous buzzer beaters over 2 defenders from deep, tough handles to create space for that bucket, and then the ability to carve through the defense to set up his teammates for the slam. On 21 points a night, Murray is connecting on 48% of his shots from the field and 42% from deep while adding in 6 assists to go along with it. I know a lot of people look at Jokic as the strong focal point of this team and sometimes can forget about Murray, but when you really look at things, Jamal Murray is extremely important to this team's success. When working off these pick and rolls, if Murray couldn't score the ball at all 3 levels, well, the defense will be able to cover him easily, but since he can score the ball so well, the defense will collapse on him and opens up these wide open looks for his teammates. Since he has that ability to get to wherever he wants on the floor, it'll bring more defenders his way, so with the backside left uncovered, it's an easy wraparound to DJ for the and one. The passing of Murray is solid enough to set up his teammates when he sees fit, but the real thing that Jamal Murray brings to the team at a high level is his ability to create shots for himself from anywhere on the floor. When looking at Jamal Murray's effective field goal percentage on all pull-ups, he knocks these down at a 53% rate on 9 per game, which ranks him at 3rd in the league amongst all players with at least 8 pull-ups a night. So yeah, if defenders start sleeping on him or aren't fully locked in when guarding Murray, well, this is when he can catch fire. We'll start off pretty basic, as on this play Murray pushes up the floor directly at Jaylen Brown, and by using that crossover into a step back, it gives him just a little more space so he's able to rise up to drop it in. With him being a bigger 6'4" guard, he can get into these post-up actions against more weaker defenders, and with his supreme focus, he can drain the drifter off the spin over Rui's contest. It's honestly a different level of shot making that comes with Murray's skill set, because not only does he have to focus on making the shot himself, but he has to worry about creating that space needed to then sink the jumper. It's extremely difficult to knock down a 30-foot buzzer beater over a smothering contest. It takes major confidence to ISO out LeBron and dot the midi right in his face. And when you have to swerve in and out the defense to then get to your spot in close, this just adds another layer of complexity to his game. Just when you think the Nuggets are solid enough just by everyone we've covered, well, to blow things up majorly, this whole entire offense is structured around a walking computer mind, and that is Nikola Jokic. Having himself an MVP season, putting up miraculous numbers, Nikola Jokic makes literally everyone on the court better and is the main reason this team is so successful. People can say what they want and call him boring or whatever they say, but by now, most of us can see how amazing his game is and how eye-catching his playstyle is. With Bam being right in the middle after Reggie Jackson rolls, Jokic can't afford to send it through the middle because Bam is right there. So what does he do? He whips it around his back to get it to Jackson, and the lay off the glass is easy. These openings present themselves a lot because with Jokic garnering so much attention, it'll pull doubles his way, and that backside man is then left uncovered. We all know just how well Jokic can pass the ball and react in such a quick manner to find his guys on the court, and exactly why this is major for the team. So when you pair that with his elegant footwork and soft touch when it comes to scoring the ball, it almost makes him unstoppable. The way he scores the ball honestly looks effortless at times, and like the defense doesn't stand a chance. If they stand right in front of him, he can muscle them out the way to go score. He can get crafty to ball fake LeBron before floating this up. And with his beautiful footwork, Jokic can be patient off the spin move up fake to then step through for the layover Bam. Jokic just picks apart opposing teams with his elite IQ and makes them all out look clueless. With a roster like this of boasting talents like Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., Nikola Jokic, Aaron Gordon, and other guys, the Denver Nuggets are truly a force. Their seamless connectivity, electrifying plays, and determination make them not just contenders, but legitimate threats to claim the NBA Finals once again. As they continue to showcase their depth, versatility, and resilience, the Nuggets are putting the league on notice that they're ready to challenge any opponent in their way and show them that they mean business. What players do you think will all be X factors, and what do you think certain players will need to bring to the floor for the Denver Nuggets to get back and win the finals? If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe before heading out. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.